18th April 2020, the date on which Khabib Nurmagomedov and Tony Ferguson are supposed to fight. Now, this is the fifth time that this fight has been scheduled. The previous four times that it was scheduled, it didn't come to fruition because of one reason or another. And this time it is supposed to take place in the Barclays Center in New York for the UFC Lightweight Championship. But this time it might be affected by the coronavirus. Now, this virus named SARS-CoV-2 causes a disease called COVID-19, which stands for Coronavirus Disease 2019. Now, this virus was first detected in Wuhan, China, and since then it has reached Europe and has crossed oceans to land in New York, the place where Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov are supposed to fight. As of last night, New York has put a ban on any event which gathers 250 or more people.
We're going to begin with the states of emergency across this country, and now here in New York City, a state of emergency declared as well. Tonight, more than 1,300 people sickened in the U.S. At least 39 have died in this country. And in New York, a ban on crowds of 500 or more brought...
And what causes 250 or more people to gather is a UFC event, especially the most anticipated fight of the year between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Tony Ferguson. So will it be cancelled? The answer is no, because Dana White was asked the same question in his UFC 249 press conference, that whether they would be cancelling the event in case of a coronavirus pandemic, and he said that no, they will not be cancelling the event.
When it comes to safety of the athletes and the fans and everything else, no matter where we go or what we do, we're always concerned with that. And we've been thinking about this for weeks. Dr. Davidson's been involved, and yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say other than that.
You said on your
We're not canceling the event.
Well, no.
I think a lot can happen in a month. The situation can get better or it can get worse. But what the UFC plans on doing, if the situation remains the same, is they'll shift all the events, all the fights from the original venue to the Apex in Las Vegas.
We're moving forward with all our UFC live events, but we're going to adapt to these unprecedented circumstances. Some of the events will be moved from their original host city to the UFC Apex here in Las Vegas, and unfortunately, fans may not be allowed to attend the events.
Also, the fights will be behind closed doors, which means that there won't be an audience. However, people will be able to watch the fights online on their phones, tabs, or TV sets. So if things remain as they are, what will happen to the Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov fight is that it will be behind closed doors. Will this affect the fight? In short, yes, it will, because the thing is, an audience always plays an important role in any sport because it actually adds to the environment, and behind closed doors, the energy, the environment, the whole scenario just won't be the same. Because the fight is also feed of the energy of the crowd. I mean, if you have ever played a sport, be that football, basketball, any sport, you would know that as an athlete, there's a difference between playing in front of a crowd and playing in front of no one. There is this added pressure and excitement when you are playing or fighting in front of a crowd. So was it wrong for the UFC to hold events behind closed doors? No, it wasn't, because obviously they cannot risk the health of their fighters or the health of all the people in this world, because this is actually now a pandemic. The WHO has actually classified as a pandemic, and it is something very serious. I know this virus is fatal to only those people who already have a weak immune system, like children and old people, and it has a mortality rate of only 2%, but the thing is, it is highly contagious. So if 2 billion people get infected and only 2% of the 2 billion die, it's still a lot of dead people. So yes, I think it's the right call to take precautions, because it is better to be safe than sorry. So I hope that this gets resolved soon, not because I want to see Tony versus Khabib with a live crowd, but also because it's something horrible and not to be taken lightly.